Welcome back to my channel. We are here now again at Motobox, but this time we're going to talk about a different lid. With me right now is the NOLAN N80-8 Helmet. Okay, and then this is a most recent purchase that I made. And I'm going to spend just a few minutes talking about this new helmet that I am raving about. So, first of all, what is the NOLAN N80-8? One thing that you will find quirky about NOLAN is the way they come up with their model names. It's their naming convention for their helmets. Dave, have you ever tried using earphones and gadgets of Sony?
Yes.
Right? So Sony is infamous for the way they come up with their naming conventions, right? WN80C++, whatever. I don't know if they have confusion also with their gender preferences. But anyway, it's the same thing with NOLAN when you have N80-8. So when you talk about N80-8, you'd think it's an old phone from yesteryears, but apparently not. So you have letter N and then the number 80 and then the dash 8. The reason I chose the NOLAN N80-8 helmet is because it's the one that looks like a sports helmet the least. Okay, because it has the smallest spoiler right here. If you look at the NOLAN N66, it has a really long gaping spoiler here at the back, but not this one. This one can be used for urban riding. What I love about the NOLAN N80-8 is that it has functional vents right here. You can open and close them at the top and also at the chin portion. And the first thing that caught my attention when I was at Moto Market is that when you look at the rack where all the helmets are, this stood out just because it had a tinted visor. So I don't know why one of the staff members there decided to attach the tinted visor over the clear one. So by the way, when you decide to get a NOLAN N80-8, it comes with two. Yes, you heard it right. Two visors. One is clear and then the other one is tinted, and it comes as standard. As usual, when you flip it open, you can see that there are provisions for you to insert pin lock so that you won't have to ride with moist or you won't have to ride with foggy visors. And also, one thing that you might want to know is that it does also come with one pin lock insert. So that's a really good deal when you buy this helmet. It has two visors, one clear, one tinted, and then it also has pin lock that comes with it as standard. Another thing that I love about this helmet is that it does come with very thick lining, and then when you put it on, it really does feel snug. So to a certain degree, you really feel like you are a racer because it's really tight, and then it's tight, but it's still comfortable. It's weird that you say it that way. It also does come with a chin curtain right here. And then what I also love about it also is that it comes in 3 colors. When you look at helmets, my personal preference is that I don't like really loud helmets when it comes to stickers and designs. And for my taste, 3 colors in one helmet could actually already be too loud. But I don't know why when it comes to this, it does it in such a tasteful manner where you have titanium right here, and then you also have silver right here, and then at the end, at the back, you have black, right? So if you look at it from a certain angle, it's actually a bit confusing because you'll think that the helmet is smaller than it seems. Well, actually, maybe it's because you don't see the full image or the full picture of the helmet because there's a black portion right at the end. One of the quirks or one of the things that you will not like about the helmet is that it does come in this particular shape where when you are used to using comms units, there is a slanting part in this particular side where it's not flat. So what does that mean? Typically, when you use a Cardo comms unit, it's supposed to be attached to a flat surface, right? But because in this particular portion where we usually put our comms unit, it's not flat, so therefore you'll have a hard time sticking the cradle. So therefore you have to move it a little bit upward, just like what I did here. It's fine, so you can still use your cardo, except that you have wires like these exposed, right? So it's going to see. So I don't mind it. If you're the kind of rider who minds having exposed wires like this, you might not want to use your cardo. Instead, you might want to use the standard Sena comms unit that they use for this. It fits the NOLAN perfectly. You'll also be glad to know that when you get the NOLAN N80-8, you will find that it is already ECE 2206 certified. So that is the latest standard that a lot of the riders look for now when it comes to safety. And also you will know that it is made with Lexan polycarbonate. So Lexan is one of the brands that makes the toughest and most durable plastics out there used for helmets, and it really does feel like it is very sturdy and tough and safe and hard to protect your to protect your head. Right here, you will notice that even if it's a racing helmet, it does not use double D rings to lock it, right? So it depends on your preference whether you like using double D rings or whether you like to go back. When I say go back, it's because a lot of my helmets already use the double D ring, but this time it uses a ratchet type lock again. One advantage for this is that you can use or you can wear your helmet and fasten it even if you already are wearing your gloves. Because as you know, when you use double D rings, you can't lock them and fasten them using your gloves. So you're going to have to make sure that you use your helmet and wear your helmet first before you put on your gloves as last. When you try to use or when you try to attach your comms unit, in this case, the cardo, when you remove the liners, you will see that it has pockets, not just indents, it has pockets for the speakers. So that's why it was easy for me to insert the speakers of the cardo. And if that's the case, then it's more easy, it's more comfortable when you wear the helmet. You don't have speakers pressing onto your ears. So you can really just shove the speaker inside and then you already fix and return all of the linings, right? Just like what I mentioned earlier, the only quirk that you will have when you use a cardo unit with this helmet is that you will have to have this wire exposed. Hopefully nothing bad happens to it while you're riding. What are the things that you would not like about this helmet? Well, there are two major things. One is that it's noisy, right? Because it's a sports helmet, it's already almost expected that there will be a lot of wind noise when you ride, especially at speed. The other one is that when you attach the tinted visor, it's a bit harder for you to ride at night because it is a bit dark. I say that because I have already used the tinted visor of the Shoei. So on my Glamster, I do have a tinted visor, and that thing still allows me to see clearly at night. This time, your vision is a little bit impeded because of the dark tint. So if I had my way, what I would do is I would wear this NOLAN N80-8 if I know that I won't ride at night. But if it just so happens that I do have my N80-8 with me and then I do ride at night, I just end up having to drive slower and more careful. But with the Glamster, when you use the tinted visor of the Glamster, it still is almost very clear. It's amazing what wonders Shoei did with that kind of visor. But if I had my way, if you made me choose, I'd still use the tinted visor of the Glamster instead of this one. So it's the tinted visor that I don't like about this helmet, and another one is the noise, right? So even if you already have your cardo, when you're on the highway and then you're at speed, you can really feel how noisy it is. Right now, we were lent the Multistrada, and then the Multistrada V2 does have retractable windscreens, right? So that did help. No matter how fast I went, like even if I was already reaching 80 to 90 kilometers per hour, I didn't hear the wind noise because of the retractable visor. But if I use the Bear that doesn't have the visor, this helmet can get really loud. So that's one of the things that you're gonna have to watch out for when you buy the N80-8. If you're in the market and you haven't heard of NOLAN before, you have to approach it with caution. Why is that? This is the first NOLAN helmet that I bought. So I was already completely captivated by how it looks, but I wasn't aware of the price. So if you are in the market and you're looking for a new helmet to buy, and then you're looking for an urban helmet that doesn't look like so much as a sports bike helmet that you could buy, try out the N80-8. This, however, does retail at Moto Market for 18,990 bucks. Oh, yes. But is it worth it? Very much so. So for my taste, I really loved the tricolor way of NOLAN that they used here. That's because it has titanium, it has silver, and it also has black. And it fits the color of my Golden Shadow Royal Enfield Bear 650. So the minute I saw it, it appealed to me. My mind told me that I really need to have one of those as soon as possible. So yes, you have to pay a steep price for the NOLAN N80-8, but it really was, I think, until now, it really is worth it because I really do enjoy wearing it. It's funny that when I hold onto it, when I'm not wearing it, or when I place it on the table and then I just stare at it, I don't find it appealing. It's weird. The form factor for me is okay, but I really like how it looks like when I wear it and then I look at myself in the mirror. I think that's where the NOLAN N80 stands out, when it's on the rider and then the rider is on the bike.
How heavy is that?
This is 16.
16?
Yes.
Tapos meron na siyang dual visor. Tama ba?
Yes.
Diba?
Oh crap, I forgot to talk about that. It's dual
You're
visor.
actually talking about it now.
Yeah, okay. So, yes, this helmet comes with a dual visor. So if you lift this up like this, and then if you think that the sun is still too bright for you, you can just pull this lever right here, and then you will already have the visor down, okay? And then you don't have to push it back. If you want to retract it, just press this button right here. Ta-da! There you go. If you are looking to buy a new helmet, go ahead and try out NOLAN N80-8. Fit it on, try to check out if you like the fit and also the look. Check yourself out in the mirror. If it does satisfy your taste, go ahead and grab one. However, it does come at a steep price. So for an entry-level helmet, this retails at 18,990. It's a steep price to pay for an entry-level helmet, but you'll be glad to know that NOLAN does have its own manufacturing plant in Italy, so you'll know that it did come straight from Italy and it's not manufactured or outsourced in another country. So you do get the complete suite of certifications for safety. You do have also the guarantee that it is Lexan polycarbonate, so it is much tougher than any other polycarbonate plastic out there, and it does look really good. So go ahead and try it out. Look for the NOLAN N80. Visit your nearest moto market now and then just grab one right away. Until then, see you next time. Bye guys. Just in case you want to know who I'm talking to, say hi, David.
Hi. You says
Did I just say, guys?
You did.
Bye, guys.
Yes. Sabi kasi, eventually.
Mga bossing. Ito mga bossing, subukan nyo, bossing. May mga vent siya, bossing, oh, dito, bossing. Tsaka ito, bossing, oh, na-open mo siya, nako-close mo siya, bossing.